What's up, Dragon Ball fam? It's your boy Eddie Sanhaler coming at you live with today's video. So for today, we are going to do a recap on Knots that just happened this past weekend. Before we start this video, I want to give a huge shout out to PPG for hosting this video. George Machado, Philippe, Anna, and company, all the staff, you know who you are. Thank you so much for making this happen. This was the biggest national in all of the game's history, man. Like, it's on out of internationally here and all three knots that we had, so or technically four knots that we had so far. This was the biggest, I believe, overall. I didn't get the final numbers, but I think there's only maybe one event in this game's total history that's bigger than this. Maybe I just got to double check the final number on this to make sure that happens. So for a fact, this event's gonna go down in history, man. Huge shout out to the champion back to back, bringing it to Florida and Duval. Or they like to call him Duval. You know what you did, man. Yeah, you're the goat, Broski. So huge shout out to you. Um, Besides that, we had 500 plus players. I need to get the final count on players, but huge shout out to everyone who came, man. Thank you guys for coming down and making this a huge successful weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go there. I'm still stuck here doing my field training stuff and private for the academy. So hopefully I'll be back by March because at least by then, either late March or sometime early April, I should be done with the academy as well as be able to put in my comp leave. So with that being said, moving on to the next shout out. Huge shout out to the commentators, Eggman, Giancarlo, and Danny. And another guy who's not picture. This guy is the man of the hour. Huge shout out to Android. He put all these pictures together as well as the stream for you guys to all enjoy. So huge shout out to Android, man. Huge shout out to the judge, Ben Ferris leading the way as head judge as well as the rest of the judges. And huge shout out to the top 32 players of our North American finals, man. Really cool graphic. Once again, designed by Android. Man, you're the GOAT when it comes to stuff like this, man. I need to take classes for you, Roski. Yeah. So all you players, top 32 players, congratulations for making the top 32 at the North American finals. Hope to see you guys soon. Now let's talk about the actual color breakdown before we move into the leader breakdown for the event itself. So top 32 slots, right? So 15 slots were red, 15 slots were blue, one slot was green, and one slot was yellow. Man, oh man, this is disappointing to see yellow only have one slot because I really do believe that Trunks should have at least had at least like 3 to 5 slots because it does counteract those red decks as well as put good pressure on the blue deck, specifically the Crimson deck that was out. So the leader top 32 breakdown is as follows. Once again, huge shout out to Android for making this graphic. We have leading the way as the most represented deck, 9 Crimsons. We have 6 1-star balls, 5 SS4s, 3 Gammas, 2 set 2 Vegetos. Huge shout out, another thing as well. Huge shout out, I should have said it on this one right here. A special 3 shout outs to the Team Fox GPG boys. We have Legends who made top cut as well as Jared Lopez who made top cut. But another really cool shout out to our boy Joshua. I'm not gonna pronounce your last name because I don't want to misspell it. Joshua A right here, who snuck in with the set 2 Vegito. He is one of our patrons, man. He was working with me directly for 1-on-1. Night before the event, he kind of like hit me up. We were talking about some last minute stuff. I'm like, broski, take my list, bro, and go make me proud. And that's exactly what he did. So huge shout out to him. Look forward to recording his deck profile and putting on the channel. So stay tuned for that. That deck profile is really nasty. Yeah, so back to this, right? The 2 Vegetos, 2 red set 2 Vegetos. We have the 1 Android 21. My boy Rohit, again, back to back. And we have 1 Trunks Gita. Shout out to you, Broski, for making me proud with the Trunks Gita build. My boy played the 4 Bulmas, the 3 Vegeta super combos with the Piccolo. I'm telling you, that deck runs smooth when you play it like that versus the Krillin. Huge shout out to Andrew for Andrew Duvall, Andrew K for playing the 1 lone green deck in top cut in green reboot gold tanks. Our boy Jared Lopez back to back with Android 16. I was surprised there was 1 Gogeta BR that actually made it. There's 1 reboot Bears, and I told you guys forever ago. I said expect to see 1-star ball, expect to see SS4, expect to see Vegito. I don't know what what quantities, but I knew they're gonna be there, and I expect to see at least 1 reboot pen because of our boy Tim Palacios, and that's exactly what happened. So shout out to you, Big Tim, for getting back there with your favorite leader of all time, man. So post top 32, we go to top 16, right? We have 9 blue decks, 5 red decks, 1 yellow, and 1 green. So real quick, the 9 blue decks we have were all 9 of the Crimson Warrior Super Saiyan God Son Goku, man. Followed it by that, we have 3 1-star ball decks, then 2 SS4 decks, and then the lone souls of 1 green gold tanks as well as 1 Trunks and Vegeta, man. Post that top 8 pretty much knocked out the green, and then everything else stayed the same because all of the other blue decks were knocked out of top 32 into going into top 16. It was only Crimson, so moving forward, all the blue decks are going to be Crimson. Then of course we have the 1 yellow deck, which is the one Trunks, but surprisingly, we still had the 2 represented top red decks that we were talking about all season long in the 1-star ball as well as the SS4 deck. So obviously we have the 5 Crimson decks, then we have the 1-star ball, 1 SS4, as well as the 1 Trunks. So Crimson was looking pretty good after that because in top 4, 2 Crimsons got knocked out, and the 1 soul red deck stayed alive, which was this beautiful excuse me, 1-star ball. So it essentially became on the left side of the bracket, we had 1-star ball versus the Crimson Warrior, and on the right side of the bracket, we had Trunks and Vegeta versus Crimson Warrior. Really, really great games. Really, really great players. Shout out to you guys for coming and doing your thing. Because at the end of the day, there could only be one final match, and that one final match ended up being the mirror match. Um, really, really cool to see. Really, really interesting to see because this deck, I don't believe it's. I mean, it's a good deck, but I just believe it was piloted by great players. I don't believe this is the best deck in the format. I do believe there are decks that counter this deck, but the thing that these great players had going with these decks was that they understood their deck, and I can guarantee it. Probably half the players they played picked up the Goku leader and read it, and probably didn't know what half their cards did because not only did they didn't know what the leader do, they probably didn't realize, hey, there's new stuff that has synergy with this deck as well. With that being said, I just think the great players just take a good deck and then just dominate with it, like point blank here. I think those same players could have played any deck honestly and got to this point with their respective decks. But huge, huge, huge shout out to the finals. Shout out once again to our boy Andrew Duval, bringing it back to the East Coast and Florida specifically. Yeah, man, you are the goat. So, looking at the future for Dragon Ball, man, we are in really, really, really good shape, especially with the announcement of the LCQs for World. This is going to be lit. But these announcements will be announced sooner than later because Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2023 will be on December 5th through December 4th, which is going to be super, super cool because following that, we'll get more information on the LCQs that's going to happen in Las Vegas, followed by the World Championship event that will be in Las Vegas. Really, really cool for me because it's actually happening on my birthday. So hopefully, once again, I will be done my academy by then, and I can put some comp leave in and take that weekend off and go have fun with you guys, man, and do the thing and actually get to represent since I wasn't not able to represent at nationals this year, unfortunately, which I felt like I was super sad because the season was super successful for myself. But you know what I'm saying, life happens. We have kids, we have families, so we can't always compensate for those work schedules. And man, I'm not gonna lie to you, the meta moving forward, it's healthy. Like guys, please stop complaining about red. Don't start complaining about blue. It's both decks, whether it's the 1-star ball, whether it's SS4, whether it's Blue Crimson, whether it's God Sealing, whether it's X, Y, or Z, the game state is in a healthy space. Like, we have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. Yes, before previously, when we had the crown being able to be played for free, whether it's via SS4 leader effect or the Gogeta Unison effect, that was borderline broken and snapped. The reason why I say borderline is because certain blue decks had answers to it regardless. And then those blue decks that didn't have an answer to it, it's like, bro, you untapped at the end of your turn. Like, what do you expect? Be like, this is the only way to counteract it. But right now, I do feel like the format is in a healthy, healthy place. Just once again, guys, improvise, adapt, and overcome. And then next event, I'll probably start working on the Pro Play Tours again. I'll hit up Machado. I'll send him the drafts and see what we can do for that because we do have some time before next Bandai Events come. The only thing we have coming up are Zenkai Cups and local tournaments. So I'll see what I can do with that, as well as work on. I know a lot of guys were hitting me up on the Pro Play Tour Invitational, which kind of had to get skipped due to conflicting with band night schedule. But hopefully that will come out soon. More information will be announced, so stay tuned for that. Guys, do me a huge favor. If you like videos like this and as well as want to continue to support us, please hit that subscribe button and then hit all along with that notification bell and make life a lot easier for myself when I explain my wife why I gotta drop off those kids to the room to make these videos for you. So with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys soon. Stay safe and long live Dragon Ball.